Look at all these colours. I am just so excited. I've just filled my seed trays up, ready for sowing, and I'm going to give them a good old soaking beforehand because Snapdragon seeds need light for germination. So if I water them first thoroughly, the compost will be lovely and moist, and then I'll put my seed straight onto that damp compost, and that will help trigger germination. And it will also prevent accidentally watering the tray and pushing the seed below the compost surface, and then that will prevent germination because they need light for germination. And then you'll think there's something wrong with your seeds, or you've done something wrong, and it's not. It's just that they're not in the light anymore. So I'm going to water them first thoroughly, and then that should be enough until after they've already come up. And you can see, as I've done in previous years, some are going to be in cells and some are going to be in quarter cell trays. Quarter cell trays are much quicker, but you will have to prick them out later. They prick out really easily, but that is an extra job. So if you want to, just sow them in cells as we normally do, and then they will be fine in those for months. I thought it might be worth having a chat about our Snapdragons this year because we've got 3 different types. We've got our favourite Madam Butterfly, and you can see the bronze behind me in the vase. Isn't it gorgeous? Such a lovely colour. There's just something about that colour with all the flowers being of similar shades. So you have your Madam Butterflies, and then you have your early flowering type. So these will bloom weeks earlier than the Madam Butterfly. So we've got our Legend, and it is a Legend, and our Strawberries and Cream, which grows really tall. Legend flowers first, and then the Strawberries and Cream is probably about a week and a half behind, and then after that, a couple of weeks later, then you'll have your Madam Butterfly. So it's worth having more than one variety. And then we've also got our patio pot varieties, and we have got 3 colours this year because I am absolutely obsessed with them. So this is the Madam Butterfly colour blend at the very front. And you'll get rid of any weeds that dare to spring up. I mean, just look at all those buds. A quick look from this end. I love these. It's difficult to describe the colour, isn't it? They're just amazing. Imagine just a vase full of these and nothing else, just standing bolt upright like pokers. Doesn't look real, does it? Does not look real. Thank goodness everything's just looking after itself after a really good autumn jump start. Because I haven't been here to do anything. And don't forget, you can print out the pages separately in your handbook, just like a fact sheet. This is the reason I designed it like this. So you can print out the pages for the Snapdragons, put them in your seed box together with your seeds, take the whole lot down to the greenhouse, and then you don't have to worry about damaging your handbook that you've got printed out for looking at home. There we go, nice and moist. So I watered this and then I've left it for about 20 minutes just to drain. And now I will sow my seeds. So I've got my trays ready with their labels so that I don't forget, because I've got colours here, and if I forget then there's no way of telling until they bloom.
And you can see there's plenty of seeds in your packet, but they are very tiny and they do have a habit, can you see, of getting stuck around the edges. So when you come towards the end of your packet, what I quite often do is open the foil all the way up so that it's flat, and then I can make sure that I get every seed out that might have got trapped in the edges. Here we go, that's what I mean. Just open the foil right up to make sure you get every single seed. You can actually sow these over 3 sowings, so if you want to just do a third, you can sow some now, some in late winter and some very early spring, because they are quite short and quick to flower. So these will be the earliest snapdragons you get to see next year.
And then here, with the stock still going strong in the background, are the next round. So these were started late winter. So we've got lovely fresh flowers coming through, ready to fill any gaps in our beds and borders or even our patio pots.
You can actually sow these over 3 sowings, so if you want to just do a third, you can sow some now, some in late winter and some very early spring, because they are quite short and quick to flower. So these will be the earliest snapdragons you get to see next year. There we go, the seed tray is nicely moistened, and I'm going to go with Madam Butterfly Bronze, I think, because I want lots of seedlings, because it's my absolute favourite. Now I'm just going to sow 1 seed per cell. I'm so excited that you've got these now. It's taken years and years to be able to get hold of the seed to put in our shop. Don't forget your label. They do actually look a little bit different to the other Snapdragons, but not until they get a little bit bigger.
There we go. So these are my Snapdragons all sown. I've got some in 40 cell trays and some in the small containers, so we can do the pricking out together. But there is a video on my website already, so if you want to just have a look to see what it entails, then you can do that now. And you can also see that I've put them into a seed tray, so you really can see that they are quarter cells. So I've got 4 in this seed tray. Now, 2 reasons. Number 1, it keeps them together. It's a bit like using the little crates for the sweet pea pots. So it keeps them all together, keeps them nice and safe on the shelf. But also, the quarter cell trays are going to sit a lot deeper in the water than your cell trays. I've got one here that I've just been soaking in readiness for sowing. So they'll sit a lot deeper because they don't have this insert, and that actually holds the water quite a bit higher than if you were to put this straight in for bottom watering. So as it's going to be so warm, there is a chance that we're going to need to do some bottom watering, because if this compost dries out, so will the seed, and then it won't germinate, and you could actually kill the seed if you let it get really dry. So we're going to keep an eye on them, water them if we absolutely need to, but you don't want to drown them, because your compost and your seeds will be then swimming in water. The seeds could then sink below the soil surface of the compost. And I've got another tray here, so can you see how much deeper that is?
So if you were to put the quarter cell trays straight into a tray for watering underneath without thinking, because we're so used to using them for the cell trays, then it will be too deep and you'll end up flooding the tray. You can see I've only just put this in, how quickly they're rehydrating already. These are the Sunset. I absolutely adore these. I can't believe I've still got flowers now. They are incredible plants. In your handbook, what I've done is I've updated this. I have updated the Snapdragon page quite a bit, and what I've done is I've also put in the height of the varieties, but also the heights of those same varieties when they're sown at different times. So when it comes to planting out time, you'll know exactly where they need to go in your garden.